We are Carrie and Josh. We are sharing things that, in our experience, worked for us and could also work for you. Alright, so here's a recap. The first week of MAF. So maximum aerobic function. To start with, I used that formula I posted last week. I calculated 180 minus my age, and then I added plus 5 because I'm coming into this pretty well trained after a summer of racing. So that should have been 143 based on my age right now, but during the course of this training I'm going to be having a birthday, so I just figured for the sake of this experiment I would put the heart rate at 142 as my maximum. So during my runs I would go range between 142 all the way down to 132. You can have a 10 beat range during your runs. So on Tuesday I did the MAF test, so it's a 3-mile run. My first mile was 7 minutes 45 seconds, and my second mile was 8 minutes 26. My third mile was 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Now I'm wondering if my first mile being so low was because I didn't complete a good enough warm-up. I thought I did. I worked from the low heart rate, doing some warm-up strides, building up to my 142. We'll see in a month where that stands. During my next runs, I did a 2.5 miler on Wednesday at 7:50 pace, and Friday 2.5 miles at 8 minutes 11 seconds. Friday was warmer. It's amazing how just that little bit of heat I think really affected the heart rate. Saturday was a longer one, 7.5 miles at about 8:15 pace, and Sunday was 2.5 miles. It said at 7 minutes 28 second pace. I'm not sure I'm trusting my GPS on that one. And my Saturday one is an estimate because right now my watch is having trouble connecting on my computer, and it's not working to go back and look things up. So hopefully the watch thing will get fixed. Some observations. It is very interesting how that little bit of heat can affect your heart rate, and how when I'm keeping my heart rate at about 140-ish, can't go over 142. When I hit even the slightest incline, it shoots up, and then I have to start walking because I hit 143 and I'm too high. So I have to walk. So it'll be an interesting few months to see how this test goes, see if my heart rate goes. I am very surprised that it's 8-ish minute pace that I'm averaging over 2.5 miles. I thought it was going to be a lot slower, so we'll see how this progression goes, and we'll keep you updated. For the MAF run today, today's Saturday. It's a long one, 7.5 miles. I'm following the Barry P training plan, and I'm getting tired of running my loops around my house. So we've got this great terrain out here in Waconia. We got a nice flat bike path because I don't want to walk up hills because I'm a little selfish in that respect. And it helps because I can bring out some friends, and they can join me. So we're gonna go for a little run and find some cool stuff out here. And then when you explore things in new territories,
we find cats.
Like on a path through Waconia, you find playground areas and cats. Animals, and even if you want, ice cream. It's a pretty cool place.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're going with your children, they can stop off and have some fun. Alright, that ended the first long run of MAF. My feet didn't care for it as much since I'm normally only going 6, but I'm going really hard. But it was fun to see lots of different things, especially those animals. If you're out around Waconia, come on down. Mr. Grandy's house is pretty cool, right along the track. Get off at the bridge at County Road 10 and go to your right. It's pretty fun. So we'll have a MAF update after one more run tomorrow. We'll let you know how it went. For the nutritional Food highlight of the week. We have my cup of coffee on my off days, but it actually starts a day before the off day because I like to do the cold press because there's less acid with it. So it starts with 3 tablespoons of coffee grounds, and we grind it up in our old coffee maker. Then you gotta give it a little shake to make sure the grounds all got in there. And there's our coffee grounds. Then I've got the grounds in my French press. And I pour over 2 cups of water. Put the lid on and let it rest until tomorrow. Tablespoon of butter, tablespoon of coconut oil, a few drops stevia, English toffee. And then you have to use the immersion blender. That helps get it all blended up. Doesn't taste so good if they separate. There's the coffee. Alright, for push days this week, doing 1 minute, as many push-ups as possible with a 1 minute rest. It'll be a little hard, but oh boy, by that 5th round, it's tough. Done. If you ever want to try something hard with a chest exercise, 1 minute push-ups, 1 minute rest for 5 rounds, so 10 minutes of work is hard. The words of wisdom for this week. I had a whole different one planned, another one from my favorite Inky Johnson. But today is Saturday, September 11th, and we went to a church service this morning. And Father Stan Mater, our priest, had just the perfect words of wisdom that I had to change it and I had to put it in here. And in his homily he said that we need to unite for the good and not just for vengeance. And in today's time, that just really struck with me because it seems like everyone gets together and unites against something, whether it's against masks or against vaccine mandates or vaccine passports or against the lack of mask mandates. Everyone gets fired up and gets behind something that bothers them. So they unite for vengeance. And it's something I want to keep in mind, that let's unite for good. And I know people do that, and there's good in the world. But especially on September 11th, to sit and to think that we really need to unite behind all of those people who ran into the buildings and united for good to help people. And so I just challenge you to find ways to find the good in situations, in people, in causes. Unite for good and not for vengeance. Because inherently people are good. Inherently humanity is good. And above all things, God is good. Have a great week.